Afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We do have a newbie, at least one, so welcome. Just a few safety things. If you have glaucoma or balance issues, you don't want to put your head below your heart. And if you're pregnant, you don't want to be doing a lot of twisting, so be careful of that. Now, I have an announcement to make. I am actually on the injury list. On Friday, I was at our local YMCA, and I was using one of the weight machines, and I somehow pulled the muscle in my shoulder. So, while I have perfect range of motion in this arm, that's about as far as it goes. So I've been slowly nursing it. It's getting better and better. But I thought, gee, what a great demonstration that you can see that even though I have an injury, it doesn't stop me from coming to my practice. If I'm careful and if I just avoid the pain, then there's nothing wrong with coming to practice. We don't want pain, so I stop before there's pain. So, just something, to think about. I always like to start with an intention, as you know, and today's intention is to embrace change. Most times, change is good. We get into such a rut sometimes, doing the same things over and over and over. So it's always healthy to look around for change, trying to see how you can do things better, do things different. The Japanese call it kaizen, where they're constantly trying to improve everything they do, whether it's a yoga practice, whether it's manufacturing, whatever in life, whatever you're doing. So just something to think about. Change can be a very good thing. Can also be very disruptive, but most times people are just fighting change. So the change can be very necessary. So in this morning's class with my friend, in many of the moves that we do, such as the good morning exercise where our arms go all the way up, so I'm stopping here, so I'm not signaling. I'm not landing planes here, I'm just trying to get up. So you'll understand, and everybody I think knows the moves now, so if you see me stopping at some point, you keep going. You keep going as far as you can. Another funny thing happened too, is our muscles have controls built into them. And so when a muscle is really, really tight, like with my injury, as I'm trying to contract it, something called a muscle spindle will cause a reaction. It'll cause, for instance, if you ever watch somebody nodding off with their head, it's going down and suddenly their head, that's what's called the muscle spindle. And it's a protection built into our body so that you don't overstretch the muscle. So as the head's going down, boom, the muscle, the brain signals contract, and it contracts and the head comes up. The doctor used to tap your knee and you kick your knee. They don't do that anymore, actually. But anyway, so this morning in one of our moves, sure enough, I was trying to stretch that muscle. Boom, it jumped. Everybody, boom, what was that? So it's an automatic reflex, basically. And there's another thing in our muscle called the Golgi tendon, and that's where the muscle gives up. So if I'm lifting too much weight, lifting, the Golgi tendon might kick in and say, forget it, and just relax the muscle. And down goes the arm. So a couple of things. It was just interesting that it came out this morning in class. So if it happens here, don't worry. I'm fine. So we'll go ahead and start. We'd like to start with our diaphragmatic breathing. So important to get our breath into our body. That nourishes our brain, nourishes our muscles, our organs. And we do that by breathing in. We let our stomach come out. That allows that big diaphragm muscle to contract and come down, pulling in all the oxygen because it brings the lungs with it. And then as we breathe out with our nasal towards our back, and that allows the diaphragm muscle to relax and go up, pushing on the lungs and pushing out all the carbon dioxide and all the other metabolic waste. So breathing in and out. And 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 in. Great, and now we'll do some warm-up. I always like to warm up our muscles and joints before we actually do some work. Oh, by the way, if you need to take a break at any time, please feel free to do so. If you need to hydrate at any point, feel free to do that. And if we're doing something that you think you just don't want to do, nothing wrong with that, just feel free to just observe. So we'll start with a little warm-up today. We're doing some marching time. So we'll just start with our feet up and down. Warming up the ankles, the knees, the hips. Maybe we'll go to the right. A little bit of chest muscles are involved. The whole body really is moving now. And now maybe we'll do a backstroke if you can. A little different twist across the shoulders there. Big muscles in the back are getting involved as well. Upper back and rhomboid muscles. And maybe we'll come forward again. And coming to a halt. Let's just roll those shoulders. Nice big roll, nice and gentle. Get that synovial fluid moving in there, the body's natural lubricant. And maybe the opposite direction. Very good. Now we'll come into our goalpost. We're going to add a little more stress to the upper back and the shoulders. So bring our arms into our normal goalpost. And then twisting to the right, nice and slow, twisting from the waist. So the waist involved, the upper back, middle back to the center, and twisting to the left. And back to the center, and twisting to the right. Just warming things up. These are dynamic stretches. Back to the center and to the left. And back to the center. Now as we breathe in, we'll come down. As we breathe out, we'll go up. Breathing in. And out. And 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 in. And out. Very good. Now let's reverse those goalposts. Totally different stretch now across the upper back into the shoulders. And again, we'll twist to the right, nice and slow, twisting at the waist. Back to the center and twisting to the left, nice and easy. And back to the center and twisting one more right. Back to the center and twisting one more left. Coming back to the center, let's come back to normal goalposts. Bring the hands and elbows together if you can. Now this muscle is fighting me, so I'm going to keep my elbows apart just for now. And again, we're going to twist to the right. So now we're adding even more muscles and joints into the movement, and back to the center and twisting to the left. And back to the center and twisting to the right. And back to the center and one more left. And back to the center and coming forward now. And again, now twisting to the right. So adding the lower back and back to the center and twisting to the left. And back to the center and twisting to the right. And back to the center and twisting to the left. Coming back to the center, coming back to vertical. And here again, as I breathe in, I'll come down. As I breathe out, I go up. Breathing in and out. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. Very good. Let's release from that. Let's roll those shoulders. Nice big roll. And then maybe the opposite direction. Really get those shoulders lubricated. And now we're going to do just a hamstring and calf muscle stretch. So I'm going to put my feet straight out and my heels into the floor. You might want to come a little forward on your chair, but please be very careful, be very safe. And we're just going to lean forward. We want to stretch those calf muscles, stretch those hamstrings, and the big gluteus muscles. So I'm slowly coming forward, ever so slow. No bouncing, and my hands are going towards my ankles, but only go as far as you can safely go. Getting a great stretch now across those calf muscles. The sciatic nerve is getting stretched. And actually all the way up the back, right up to the neck. And if you can move the arms further, really get those shoulders involved as well. Wonderful stretch of breathing into the pose. And let's come out of that just for a moment. Roll the shoulders, nice and easy. And let's go right back into that stretch. One more time, coming down. Ever so slow, no need to bounce. No speed necessary. Just really giving those muscles a wonderful stretch, getting them ready for work. And we'll come back up nice and slow now. Very good. Bring the feet back, sitting back in our chair because we're going to come into our boat now. So slowly increasing the intensity. So now my legs are going to go straight out. And if you can, maybe the toes can go back towards you, whatever works for you. And then once we're here, now maybe we can do a little pedal. Nice and slow. We just want to warm those muscles, warm those joints. And then maybe we can do some rowing as well. Only do what's safe for you, what's comfortable for you. Very
Good. And we release from that. Let's bring those feet down. Maybe pedal those feet just a little bit. Get it going here. We're going to come right back into our boat. A little more rowing and pedaling so the legs come back out. And the toes come back towards us. And then we pedal. And then maybe we row. So upper body, lower body, middle body, everything's getting a little bit of a workout here. Not too intense, but we are raising our heart rate, and that's good. Getting some cardio in here as well. Very good, we release from that. Coming to a standing position now. Doing our forward and backward fold. I want to get the spine warmed up. So important the spine is involved in everything we do, even when we're sitting still. It's holding us up, so we want to make sure we exercise the spine. So I'm going to lean forward first into my forward fold, ever so slow. Coming down, hands heading towards my feet, towards the floor, whatever works for you. And then coming up. Arms up by the ears, and we lean back. Nice, lean back. Squeezing the spine, squeezing the discs between the vertebrae there, excreting that synovial fluid also in the metabolic waste. And then we come forward again, stretching those discs, and that's going to nourish them. They're going to absorb all fresh blood and oxygen. Really get well nourished here. And coming back up, one more leaning back. Let's get those really, really nourished and cleansed. And coming forward one more time. Great stretch. Get that sciatic nerve stretched as well. And coming back to neutral position, hands on the hips, and we're just going to twist to the right, nice and slow, twisting from the waist, chest is following the waist. Coming back to the center and twisting to the left. And coming back to the center and one more right. Coming back to the center and one more left. Coming back to the center. Now let's push forward. The shoulders go back. Really opening up that chest, nice and wide. Pectoral muscles are moving to the side. The lungs have plenty of room to breathe. Heart is open. Nice deep breath in. Great. And let's just come to a normal standing position. Kind of shake things out a little bit. And we're going to now start to do some work. So I'm going to start with our arms just up and horizontal to the floor. This is our helicopter pose. And then twisting to the right. Holding here for just a moment, and coming back to the center, and twisting to the left. And holding, and then back to the center, and to the right. And back to the center, and one more left. And back to the center now, leaning to the right. Nice big lean. Great stretch on the right side of the body. That's what we want, all the way up from the foot to the fingertips, and then back to center and leaning to the left. Really good stretch there. And coming back to the center, releasing from that, rolling the shoulders a little bit. We're going to come into now our runner's lunge. So, holding my chair, I'm going to start with my left foot forward, holding my chair with my left hand. Left foot goes forward, left knee is at about 90 degrees. And now once I'm securely here and nice and safe, and hold that chair if you need to, we're going to start targeting these muscles, these big leg muscles, back muscles. So as I breathe in, I'll come up, and as I breathe out, I'll go forward, breathing in, and up, and in, and up, and in, and up, and in, and up, and in, and in, and up. Great, let's come to a standing position. We'll walk that out, and we'll do the other side. So now right leg goes forward. Good sturdy stance here. The back leg is nice and straight, good and strong, holding us up, holding that chair if we need to hold it. And then once we're safely here, now we'll breathe into this pose. Great, and let's come to a standing position. We'll walk that out. Do a little bit of a lunge. So we've done the runner's lunge, squat. So we'll balance that out a little bit with a mini squat. So this is a modified, actually, squat. I'm holding my chair, and I'm just coming down, feet are hip width apart, and just coming down to the point where the quadricep muscles, those muscles on the top of the leg, are talking to you. No pain ever, please. strengthening those muscles, you're strengthening the glutes, tighten the core, and those muscles will get strong as well. And then they come up nice and slow. And they come back down nice and slow. And back up. And down. And one more up. And down. And if you wish to go into the yoga squat, you certainly can. You can widen the feet a little more or whatever works for you, but please just do what you can do safely. And then you come all the way down, but it's up to you. You heard my knuckles cracking there, my knees. And now you can maybe twist to the right a little bit. And then back to the center and to the left. And back to the center and to the right. And back to the center and to the left. Back to the center, now slowly coming back up, nice and easy. Let's walk that out and let's have a seat. Do a little bit of breathing. Nice, deep diaphragmatic breaths. We've worked all these muscles now. They need oxygen, so we're going to do some deep breathing. Please hydrate if you need to, of course. Nice, deep breath in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. Great. And so now we're going to do our eagle pose. So this is where we target those upper back muscles. We want to stretch those guys, make them stronger, make them more flexible and elastic. And strengthening those helps prevent the pectoral muscles from pulling the shoulders forward and giving us a kyphotic type posture, which then causes neck pain and back pain. So to strengthen those muscles, my right arm comes up, straight up, and I'm bringing my left arm up and around. Of course, I've got the left arm problem today, but I can actually do this side. It's the other side that's going to give me an argument. Now once I'm here, I'm just going to gently twist to the right, and back to the center, and twist to the left. Really slow, and back to the center, and twist to the right. And back to the center, one more left. And back to the center. Now I'm going to lean forward, and by doing so, now I'm engaging the middle back muscle. That muscle spindle just reacted on me, pulled me back up. I don't know if you saw that. So now we're getting a lot more muscle involved here in the back, all the way down to the hips. And now again, we'll go to the right. And come back to the center and go to the left. And come back to the center, one more right. And back to the center, and one more left. And back to the center. Now coming back to vertical. Nice and slow and easy. As I breathe in, I come down. As I breathe out, I go up. Breathing in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. Very good. And let's unwind from that. Ever so slow. Roll those shoulders out. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Woo-wee. And now the opposite direction. Big roll. Really get that fluid moving in there. And now maybe opposite, a little teasing of the brain, left and right, and opposite again. And now we do the other side, so we always balance. Whenever we do one side, we do the other. So bring that left arm straight up, and now the right arm is going to come around, and of course in my case, because of my problem, I'm stopping right here. And I'm doing that because I don't want pain. So I could go further, I could, as they say, work through it, not happening. So you don't need pain. And this is a good way for me to eventually overcome this issue, because slowly but surely, my range of motion will increase and the pain will be released. And now once I'm here, I'm going to twist to the right, nice and slow. And coming back to the center and twisting to the left. And coming back to the center and twisting to the right. And coming back to the center, and one more left. Coming back to the center, now leaning forward. Really getting the middle back, lower back, the hips involved here, and then again going to that right. And back to the center and going to the left. And back to the center and coming back to the right one more time. And back to the center and one more left. And back to the center, now coming back to vertical. And then as I breathe in, I'll come down. As I breathe out, I'll go up, breathing in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. And in, and out. Very good. And slowly unwind from that. And let's roll those shoulders again. Nice big roll. And then the opposite direction. Nice big roll here. Feels so good. And then the opposite, and opposite. Fantastic. So we're fully warmed up now. We're ready for our warrior moves, which is our more intense portion of our practice. But I hope by my demonstrating my modifying the poses, you can see that you can still do your practice even though you might have an issue. And I'm not saying you can do that with every issue, but for most issues you can still do your practice if you're just careful, and you're not hurting yourself. So let's come to a standing position. We'll start with our warrior one, as we always do. So my left foot is going to go forward just like that runner's lunge we were doing a few moments ago. And the only change here now, because my back leg is straight, front leg, I never let that forward knee go beyond the toes. And now once I'm here, I'm going to bring my arms up alongside my ears. Of course, in my case, only one arm. And now I'm going to breathe into this pose because I really want to target all of these leg muscles, the core muscles, the gluteus muscles. So as I breathe in, I come up. As I breathe out, I go forward. And in, and out. 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 Very good. And now from here, I'm releasing the hands, bringing them behind my back, interlacing the fingers. I'm going really slow here because I get that left arm. And now as I breathe in, I come up, and as I breathe out, I'm coming down onto that forward knee. Breathing into the pose. This is our humble warrior. Great, and we're releasing that, coming back into our warrior one, nice and slow. Now once I'm here, I'm going to flow into our warrior two. So readjusting my feet, aligning my ankles if I can. Gently, I'm stretching that left arm out. Whoops, it reacted again. Muscle spindle, but it's good. And right arm is behind me. Now once I'm here in warrior two, good and safe and sturdy. Now breathe into the toes. Great, and now from this point I'm going to turn that front palm towards the ceiling and leaning back into my peaceful warrior, stretching that whole left side of my body all the way from the left foot to the left hand. Great stretch here, and once I'm safely here, I'm going to breathe into this pose. Great, and flowing back now into warrior two. Nice and slow and easy, very gentle. Now once I'm here in warrior two, now we're going to go into our triangle pose. So this is a good blood circulation pose, also balancing coordination, but it can be a little dangerous, so please, if you need to, with the right hand, hold your chair. I'm going to bring the left hand down to the left ankle, straightening both legs. If your right hand doesn't need to hold the chair, you can move it straight up into the air, but it's up to you. Please just make sure you're safe. This is called our triangle pose, great for blood circulation, and once I'm here, I can breathe into this pose. Great, and releasing from that, coming back into our warrior two, ever so slow, nice and easy. And from here, let's come to a standing position, and let's walk that out. Woo-wee. That's a good movement right there, I'll tell you what. That's going to get you all ready. We're going to run around the building here in a minute. Just having all kind of fun. Okay, now other side, always, right? We repeat the other side. So right leg is forward, right foot is forward, right knee maybe at 90 degrees, whatever works for you. Back leg is good and strong and straight, just like a pillar holding us up. And once we're comfortably here, now the arms come up alongside the ears into our warrior one. And once I'm in my warrior one, now I'm going to breathe into this pose and really target those lower muscles. So breathing in and out, and in and out. In, and out. now from here, moving those hands down and putting them behind my back, interlacing the fingers. Be very careful, make sure you maintain your balance here. This is our humble warrior. It's the most strenuous of the warrior poses. Breathing in, I'm going to come up, and breathing out, I'm bringing my chest towards my forward knee. Great, and coming back into our warrior one, nice and slow, very easy, and then flowing into our warrior two. So gentle, readjusting the feet, aligning the ankles if you can, just making sure you're good and sturdy in the pose. And once we're here now, we'll breathe into this pose, breathing in and come up, and out and go forward. Great, and now from here, I'm turning that front palm towards the ceiling, going to lean back, I'm going to stretch that whole right side now. Ooh, that is a good stretch right there. Ooh, great stretch, and once I'm here, I'll breathe into this pose. Great, and let's flow back into that warrior two. Making sure I'm good and sturdy in the pose, and now we're going to straighten the legs coming into that triangle again. So here you might want to take your left hand and hold the chair if you need to. Otherwise, the left arm can go towards the ceiling as the right hand goes towards the right ankle. Again, this is really good for balance, for coordination, and for circulation. And breathing into the pose. Great, and flowing back into our warrior two. Nice and easy. And now from here, coming to a standing position, and let's walk that. Such a good workout. Let's do some nice deep breathing in our mountain pose, so my palms are facing forward. Perfect posture, everything stacked nice and tall, and deep breathing in and out. And in and out. And in. And out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out. Fantastic. So we get a lot of oxygen into our body. The muscles will work there really, really hard, so they're absorbing all that oxygen, but so is the brain, and the brain is crucial for balance, for our accuracy and our coordination. So speaking of balance, coming into our balance now, so today we'll do the tree pose. So I'm going to bring my right foot up. I'm holding the chair with my left hand. The right foot is going to come up and go onto the calf of my left leg. So this is called the low tree. And I'm just standing here with that foot on that calf muscle. Trying to open up the hip if you can, so it puts a little more stress into the hips, a little more exercise for the hips. Then, if your balance allows, you can maybe just hover the hand over the chair. Coming in and out of the pose, not a problem. Going back and grabbing the chair, nothing wrong with that. We're still stimulating the cerebellum. That's the part of the brain that controls our accuracy, our balance, and our coordination. So crucial to prevent falling. So we really need to keep that cerebellum sharp, and this is a great way to do it. Now maybe you can go to a higher limb on your tree where the foot goes above the knee, the heel is above the knee. We never want to put the heel on the knee and put too much stress on the knee. We don't want lateral stress on the knee. Could hurt it. The knee is not meant to go left and right. It's meant to go up and down. Unless you haven't paid your bookmaker, then it might go left and right. So, gee, nobody got that. The bookmaker might make your knee go the other way. Okay, we'll grow some branches. And maybe add some wind. just hanging around in our tree. And you can go to a canopy if you can. I think some people can. I actually had someone in Conroe do this morning. Bring that leg up. And then maybe a swipe. And slowly coming out, we'll go back to the high tree, high branch, and then to the lower branch. And then we walk it out. There we go. Great, great exercise, I'm telling you, for the brain. I'm going to hydrate real quick. Now, of course, you want to do the other side. So now my right leg is good and strong, firm on the floor. Left foot comes up onto that right calf muscle. And then opening that hip if I can. But just do what works for you. You don't want hip pain. We're just trying to increase its flexibility a little bit. And then we hover our hand over the chair. So the brain is working now with all of these supporting muscles, and that's building that muscle memory, so that when we do get into an out-of-balance situation, the communication from the brain to those muscles is very quick. It's quick because we've been practicing. So it builds these electronic pathways. And then maybe we can go to a higher branch on the tree, up to you, whatever works for you. It's all good. And then maybe we can grow some branches. Add a little wind. And maybe if you can go to the canopy if you can. Up to you. And the canopy is also a great hip opener, as you might imagine. And then maybe a little slide. And coming back to the high limb. And to the low limb. And then we release that and walk it out. Outstanding. You're a great forester. Okay. So let's do a little resetting. Arms coming up alongside the ears, leaning back into our Urdhva Hastasana, squeezing that back, the spine, very great for the spine, getting rid of all that metabolic waste we've just created. Now coming forward into Uttanasana. Those discs are expanding now in the back and they're absorbing fresh blood and oxygen, getting totally nourished. Holding here, a nice deep breath. This is called a static stretch. And now coming back up and leaning back one more time, arms up over our head. And holding here, nice deep breath. And coming back to neutral, arms straight out, and let's just do a twist to the right. Just resetting the waist, resetting the hips, coming back to the center, and twisting to the left. And one more right. And one more left. Very good. Outstanding, releasing from that, and let's have a seat. Just do some diaphragmatic breathing, and then we'll open up our hips a little more. So a couple of nice deep breaths in. And of course, hydrate if you need to. Fantastic. So we want to do a hip opener now. We've done a lot of hip work with our balance pose, with our warrior moves. So we really need to stretch those hips, make them a little more flexible, and increase their range of motion a little bit. So to do that, we're going to do our pigeon pose. So I'm going to bring my right leg up. Now option one, I'm just going to put my right foot over my left. Or option two, you can bring that right leg up and put it on top of the left leg behind the knee. Please do whatever works for you. Both are very good. And now we're going to bring the arms, and once I'm safely here, I'm going to bring my arms up alongside my ears, and I'm coming down towards the raised knee with my chest, nice and slow, breathing into the pose. Really stretching that right hip, stretching the lower back. And I'm stretching the arms and shoulders, if you can do that, back up from that. Now we're going to rotate that ankle, the raised ankle. We want to get the lubrication going in that ankle, also blood circulation. And this increases blood circulation in the calf muscles as well, throughout the entire leg. And then we rotate in the opposite direction. My ankles are really crackling, boy oh boy. And that's usually gas, that's carbon dioxide. And now we'll plantar flex that foot, so I'm just stretching the foot all the way out and holding. Now I'm dorsiflexing, coming in the opposite direction, and plantar flexing, and dorsiflexing, and plantar flexing, and dorsiflexing. And now I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm just going to massage those calf muscles just a little bit. This is called the myofascial release. Those muscles like to get really tight, and this is a great way to massage them. You can also use a roller, although I find the roller kind of painful. There's also hand rollers. You know, the bigger rollers you lie on the floor and you roll back and forth. You've probably seen those. Those I find very painful. But there's also a hand roller. I'll bring one on Thursday that you can just roll back and forth. It's really good. So, okay, we're released from that. We'll do the opposite side. Leg comes up. Choose your option, whatever works for you. And then once I'm here, I'm going to bring those arms up alongside my ears and slowly coming down towards that knee. Nice and easy breathing into the pose. Great, and coming up from that, and we'll just rotate that ankle. Crackling going on there as well. And in the opposite direction, nice big rotation there. And then let's plantar flex that foot, and dorsiflex it, and plantar flex, and dorsiflex, plantar flex, and dorsiflex. Really giving the sciatic nerve a good workout. I'm sorry, the plantar fascia, a good workout. And then we release from that, bring that down. Oh, I'm sorry, do my fascia release. Well, I had to release correct. Very good, just break those muscles up, those calf muscles. Yeah, that feels good. Excellent. And we release from that. Now, bring that down. Do a little bit of a cerebellum stimulation again. Of course, we're going to do this seated. So to do that, I'm going to bring my arms straight out, thumbs are up, making a fist. Then I'm going to move those thumbs out just to the edge of my peripheral vision, so I still see the thumbs. Now, keeping my head straight forward, not moving my head at all, I'm just going to move my eyes. So I'm going to look right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and left. Now I'm going to bring that right thumb to my nose, and out, left thumb to the nose, and out, right thumb, don't poke your eye, and out, and left thumb to the nose, and now head it straight forward, and out, and out, and great, and we release. Now shake those wrists out. I know it's a little quirky, but it really does challenge the cerebellum. It increases our accuracy, our balance, and our coordination. So very good little exercise to do. Let's come back to a standing position. We need to do our test, you know, on last Thursday we all got a gold medal. So now we've got to recheck, we're starting all over again, so we're going back to bronze. So my right foot is going to go in front of my left, nice and straight, no cheating. So, and no wide shoes, please. So now the right foot in front of the left, and for the bronze medal, all we need to do is have our hands by our sides, or hold the chair if you need to, by all means, please. This is, as you know, part of the sobriety test, which is a wonderful, wonderful balance exercise to do. So now I'm just going to stand here and I'll count to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Great, and now we switch feet, so now the left foot goes forward, right foot is behind it, nice and straight. Hold the chair if you need to, nothing wrong with that. Or you can just hover over the chair, or you can move those hands to your side. And now we'll count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Then we release from that, and everybody gets a bronze medal. Really good. Yeah, you know, the officer told me, he said my driving was so bad, he was going to give me a season ticket. So, what is that? What's that about? Let's do our little crab walk today. So, I'm going to keep the chair handy. This is a balance move, but it's also a coordination move. And it gets our heart going a little bit just before we're going to start our cool down. So, crouching down a little bit, legs are a little more than hip width apart. And then I'm just going to go 2 steps to each side. Be very careful of your neighbor, and then we go. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Very good. Let's come to a standing position. Get a little heart rate going here, a little blood pumping. Going to do our adductor strengthening, so adductor and abductor muscles. Those are the muscles on the inside of the thigh and the outside of the thigh. Holding the chair with my left hand, right foot comes up and over, and I'm just tightening those inner muscles in the upper thigh, adductor muscles. Holding here, foot is above the floor. You can make it a balanced pose if you wish by hovering over the chair with your hand. Whatever works for you. And then we'll move to the abductor side. So now the outer muscles are contracting, they're getting stronger. And coming back to the adductor side. And now back to the abductor side. And releasing from that, let's walk that out. And now we'll do the opposite side. So these muscles are very important for our walking gait and for our balance side to side. Even though they're small, they're very, very important. Now the left leg comes up and over, and hovering above the floor just a little bit, just to make sure that muscle contracts, muscle group really. And then I'm going to hover my hand over the chair if you can, just to add a little balance here. A little cerebellum challenge. And then we'll move to the abductor side. And back to the adductor side. And back to the abductor side. And we release from that. Let's walk that out. Now we're just going to target the calf and hamstrings for a moment. So I'm going to stand nice and flat-footed. Feet are hip width apart. And now I'm just going to keep the chair handy and hold it if you need to, coming up on my toes. So that's getting those calf muscles involved. The hamstring muscles are getting involved. Glutes are getting involved as well. Now I'm going to come down, but not all the way. And back up. And down and up. 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 And down and up. Great, let's walk that out. So very good little exercise for those muscles. Strengthen them, make them nice and strong. Let's reset and then we'll have a seat. So just going to bring our arms up alongside of our ears again. Our Urdhva. Let me help this arm. Okay, and now leaning back. And breathing into the pose. Nice deep breathing here. This is a static stretch, so we're going to hold for a minute. And now coming forward into that forward fold, that Uttanasana. And we hold these stretches, the static stretches, at the end of our workout because that prevents muscle soreness. The muscles are stretched and they're absorbing all the oxygen and blood. And great, coming back up, arms all the way out to the sides and twisting to the right and holding. Once we're here, deep breaths in. And back to the center and now to the left and holding nice deep breaths in and out. And back to the center, releasing from that. And let's have a seat. And we'll come into our cool down. But first we want to exercise the neck and the eyes. And please, yes, hydrate. Take my own device. So we're going to do a nice big neck oval, going to the right, all the way up, big oval, and around and down. And another big oval to the right, all the way up, over and down. And now the opposite direction to the left, all the way up and over. And down. And one more, all the way up and over. And down, very good. Now neutral position, I'm just going to lean my head back. And coming forward and leaning forward. And back to neutral now, leaning to the right. Really good stretch there. And back to neutral and leaning to the left. And coming back to neutral now, nice big turn to the right. Turn, turn, turn. And back to neutral and big turn to the left. And back to neutral. Now bringing our hands, our two fingers to our eyebrows, and just a gentle massage of the eyebrows. Great for our dry eye, for tired eyes. Just a nice massage in general, helps to calm the nervous system. And releasing from that and going to the temples. Nice gentle massage of the temples, again calming the nervous system, lowering the blood pressure a little bit. And deep breathing also helps to lower the blood pressure. Very good, releasing from that. And let's do a little carpal tunnel and some circulation work on our hands. So I'm going to just hold my hands straight up and bringing the thumbs across. This helps with circulation now. And I'll turn my hands sideways so you can see, and then I'm going to bring my fingertips down. Squeezing, squeeze, 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 and release. And down, and release. And down, and release. And down, and release. And one more down, and release. Great, shake those hands out. So that's great if you have tingling fingers, fingers falling asleep on you, those kinds of things. It's a good thing to do to get that blood circulating. So now we'll do our spider on the mirror, which is great for carpal tunnel, also great for circulation. And great if you have arthritis in the fingers. And just doing some push-ups there. Good, strong push-ups. Gets that synovial fluid going between the knuckles. Keeps them lubricated and hopefully alleviates pain. Very good, and releasing from that. And now holding that right arm straight out, gently bending that wrist. No pain here, we just want to get a little stretch across the wrist. This helps deal with carpal tunnel, if that is an issue, but it's also good for circulation. And now going in the opposite direction, just pulling that back again, no pain. Elbows nice and straight, good strong arm. And releasing from that and do the other hand now, gently bringing that hand back. And then gently going in the opposite direction. Just pulling back, good straight elbow. And release from that, let's shake those hands out. Very good. So we're coming now into our Shavasana. So here now we relax the brain and then we relax the body. So to relax the brain, we're going to close our eyes and do deep diaphragmatic breathing. And when you breathe in, you might want to add a mantra such as counting silently. 1, 2, 3, 4 as you breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4 as you breathe out. Or you may know a mantra that you prefer. One of them in Sanskrit is called Soham. So as I breathe in, I say so, and as I breathe out, I say hum. And it means I am that, or I am me. I am my own person. Up to you, obviously, any mantra will do. The whole purpose is, if you're focusing on the breath and that mantra, it blocks out all the other garbage that's in our brain, all those things that are interrupting us, bothering us, bad memories, whatever. This is a wonderful way to relax the brain by just focusing on that mantra and our breathing. So that's what we're going to do. So eyes closed, hands on our hips, palms up or down, your choice. Nice deep breaths in and out. Focusing on our mantra now, here we can forget about those things we don't control. We can forget about the past, at least momentarily. We can't erase the past, but we can at least put it aside for now. Just doing our mindful breathing, focusing on that mantra. The breath comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the breath goes out, 1, 2, 3, 4. As the breath comes in, it nourishes the entire body, it nourishes the brain. Just watch the breath as it travels all through the organs, the muscles, the joints, right up into the neck, into the brain. Relaxing the entire body. Focusing now on the body, we see our feet are relaxed, our legs are relaxed, our knees, our hips, our torso, our lower back, upper back, our chest, our shoulders, everything is relaxing. Our neck, our head, so calm and so relaxing, sinking into the chair, gravity taking over, very secure, very safe. Just focusing on that breath. Breath comes in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Totally calm and totally relaxed now. We're ready for whatever the rest of the day has to bring. Giving our body a good workout. Congratulate yourself for a fine practice today. Absorb all this positive energy in this room. It's an incredible turnout today. Wonderful, wonderful energy. Deep breathing in and out. So relaxing, always coming back to the breath. Very gently now, moving our hands, moving our feet. Very slowly opening our eyes. Make sure we're not dizzy, make sure we have our balance. Arms come all the way out. Palms together, hands come down to heart center. I continue to be so humble that you allow me to come and teach this practice. May the light within me have the honor of shining alongside the light within you. I bow to you.